Welcome to our podcast that earned recognition in 2019 and again in 2020 as one of the best podcasts in marketing research. This is Research Business Daily Report, and we see that you're watching us today, so please lend your support for our research news video series, and you can do so by visiting the crowdfunding platform we've established at patreon.com/RBDR. I'm Bob Lederer in my 26th year as the respected voice in market research. There is an academic, her name is Nicole Kidman, and I emphasize that this is not the actress. And she's stating for anyone to hear that Apple and Facebook appear to be very much on a collision course. The crux of the coming butting of heads comes down to availability and proper use and privacy as well as control of data. Back in December, Apple announced that its future iOS update will require Apple users to give their permission in order for any app to collect data about them. Now, Facebook responded with a full-page advertisement in several newspapers that opposed Apple's new privacy policy. In a public statement, Apple stated its rationale. Users should know, it said, when their data is being collected and shared across other apps and websites, and they should have the choice to allow that or not. At a recent speech at the Brussels International Data Privacy Day, Apple CEO Tim Cook went on the offensive against Facebook, as well as its CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Cook's Brussels commentary never mentioned Facebook or Zuckerberg, but frankly it didn't have to. Here's why, a summary of Cook's pointed remarks. First, technology does not need vast troves of personal data stitched together across dozens of websites and apps in order to succeed. He said that advertising existed and thrived for decades without it. And we're here today because the path of least resistance is rarely the path of wisdom. And Cook continued, if a business is built on misleading users, on data exploitation, choices that are no choices at all, then it does not deserve our praise. It deserves reform. We should not look away from the bigger picture, he said, and a moment of rampant disinformation and conspiracy theory that is juiced by algorithms. We can no longer turn a blind eye to a theory of technology, Cook noted, that says all engagement is good engagement. The longer the better, and all with the goal of collecting as much data as possible. And Cook decided to pose three questions. The first, what are the consequences of prioritizing conspiracy theories and violent incitement simply because of high rates of engagement? Second, what are the consequences of not just tolerating but rewarding content that undermines public trust in life-saving vaccinations? And third, what are the consequences of seeing thousands of users joining extremist groups and then perpetuating an algorithm that recommends even more? Cook closed his remarks for the day saying it's long past time to stop pretending that this approach doesn't come with a cause, a polarization of lost trust, and yes, of violence. A social dilemma, he said, cannot be allowed to become a social catastrophe. Now, Apple's a lifestyle brand that's espousing that its users control their privacy, as opposed to Facebook, which is in the data business. The more data it collects on users, the more efficiently it can sell targeted ads. Cook's closing statement noted of Facebook, you are no longer the customer. You are the product. That wraps up this edition of the Research Business Daily Report for today. If you haven't watched this before, the editorial goal of every RBDR video report is presentation of news insights and or commentary that you won't find anywhere else. And we've got no doubt that if you make us a regular view, that you're going to find that to be very truthful. And as your appreciation for what we are presenting grows, we hope you'll consider becoming an RBDR Patreon sponsor. You can do that for yourself at patreon.com/RBDR. So have a good research day. Please join us here again tomorrow. And until then, in these dangerous times, please stay safe.